Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Welcome back to Stand Out, Speak Up. I mean, I just love Stand Out, Speak Up. You know, somebody was asking me, why stand up? Stand Out, Speak Up. What does that mean? And I said, you need to watch my shows on Omega Live TV because Stand Out, Speak Up means you do not fit in. Don't fit in the crowd. And what do I mean when I say fit in? Have you ever seen a puzzle before? So if you see a puzzle, like an African map, and you have all these small pieces, and then you have to join them in, and then you make a puzzle. So it fits in. So you have to fit in. What does fitting in means? It means that if your friends are smoking, your friends are doing drugs, your friends are causing havoc, they're causing havoc outside to the community, they're stabbing each other. You want to fit in, because if you don't fit in, your friends will laugh at you and say, look at you, you're a chicken, and start calling you names, and then you feel the pressure, and then you know what, let me fit in because this pressure is too much. But if you start training yourself, and the training goes up to your subconscious, because like I said, your subconscious mind doesn't sleep. So your subconscious mind is always busy wandering around, even when you're sleeping, what's going on. It looks at the environment, what is happening, what is Lydia thinking. So if you keep on saying to yourself, I'm going to stand out and I'm not going to fit in. So you say it until you convince your subconscious that you stand out. So by standing out, now the puzzle has been done, but there's one that cannot fit in that puzzle because it's either crooked, it's straight, it's unique on its own, and everybody's looking and thinking, where is this piece going to fit in? Well, the piece is not going to fit in because it's not part of the puzzle. So that piece stands out. So that is what I mean by stand out. So you stand out from the crowd. Don't judge anybody, don't condemn anybody, but just stand out. So by you standing out, you can actually give a sober advice. You can be the voice of reasoning. So that's why we need to stand out and speak up. And that's what this show is all about. This show is to empower, to train, to teach, to transform, to motivate our listeners. And as we listen, we all motivate each other all the time. And today I have a very special lady in the studio with me. And when I do Zoom, I don't really like Zoom because then I can't do high five, I can't look at the person and smile. But today I can do all that. So I have a very special lady with me. Her name is Pastor Jane Jasmine, and you've heard her story before. She was in Tuko Talks before. She's from Kenya. She was in, she's done so many interviews, and I am so humbled and privileged and so humbled and honored as well that she actually called me to say, I want to be in your studio. I want you to do a show for me. So I was like, oh, me, oh my God. So I was like, yeah. Okay, but her story is very touching. And I don't want you to just sit there and just listen to the story. Like somebody said that knowledge is power, but it's only power if it's been implemented. So even though you're going to listen to her story and she's going to encourage you about domestic violence and you're going to hold it in your hand, but if you don't implement it, it's not power. So you need to implement the knowledge that you're going to hear today. This lady is a survivor for domestic violence. She went through so much. In fact, when I was listening to her story, I was having goose pimples. And I was angry with her, angry with myself, angry with the whole situation. I was just angry because I was thinking, how? Why? So she's here to tell us how and why. And don't go away. Don't touch that button. We are coming back. But before we go to our short little break, I'm just going to tell you about Omega. Now, we have Omega House. Like I say, it's Omega House. It's supposed to be house, but they just style it up like I like styling things. So Omega House, they have so many things that we need in our everyday life. Okay? And one of them, things like leaflets and flyers, things like posters, brochures, booklets, bookmarks, banners, business cards, letterheads, postcards, receipts, tickets, calendars. If you want to personalize anything you want personalized, they can do that, especially with calendars. So you can put January, your firstborn, February, your second born. If you have 12 children, you can put 12 children every time. Your husband, your wife, you know, nice things. So you can personalize your calendar if you want to. And then they also print mags as well, photo frames, bottle openers, key rings, handkerchiefs, mouse pads, beer glasses, pillowcases, t-shirts, clocks, and anything. If you want anything personalized, guys, if you're living in the UK, go to 74 West Green Road. And if you don't want to travel, you just want to talk to somebody on the phone, the number is 0780 262 7333. That's the number to call. Or if you don't have enough credit on your phone, you just want to use the landline, it's 0203 581 8794. Omega House for anything that you want. Okay, so don't touch that button. We are coming back. Okay, so thank you for that and welcome back. Now I'm going to ask my Pastor Jane here in the studio to just introduce herself, and over to you. The microphone is past you. She's a pastor, so don't refuse to give me back my microphone.
I will.
All right.
Thank you so much, Lydia. Stand out, speak up.
That's right.
That's my mission.
Stand, aha, that's what I want to hear.
Stand out,
speak up.
speak up. Thank you so much. I'm so much privileged to have myself here in this show.
Mm-hmm.
I thank God for this golden opportunity, and I thank God for whatever I'm going to share.
Mm-hmm.
I really ask God to take over and for His own glory. So thank you so much. Yeah, I'm Jane, Pastor Jane Jasmine Nganga. I'm a mother of two. I have a son called Baraka, 23 years old, and my daughter is 17 years old. She's Faith Wendell in Form 4 now, because they have just closed. So I thank God because coming to UK, I didn't know that I'll have this opportunity. I was coming for medical issues. Unfortunately, I didn't manage, so I'll have to go back to Kenya. But I thank God that today we are going to touch lives. Yeah, thank you.
Amen. Amen to that. Okay, so Pastor,
Yes.
tell us, who is Pastor Jane Jasmine? Who are you?
Thank you, Lydia. Pastor Jane Jasmine Nganga was born in 1979 at a place in Kenya called Nanyuki. That's where I was born. A family of 7. We were 7 of us. I'm saying we were because one of us is not there. He died some times back. After 2 years, when I was 2 years and a half, my mom and dad separated.
Okay.
Let me say they divorced because they never got back. So they separated. We didn't have, I was very young, so I didn't know what was happening. We were taken back to the village. That's where my mom took us to our grandmother, who was mentally retarded, and because she was depressed. I think
She had mental illness.
yeah, my grandmother. Because my mom, after the separation, she went into depression. So she couldn't take care of us. So she took us back to the village, and she went to a nearby town to look for a greener pasture. She had a business in Nanyuki.
What business was she doing?
She was a dressmaker.
Okay.
Yeah, and she had a barber shop. And my father was an OCPD. He was a very senior guy.
Okay.
Yeah. So when we went home, when we were taken back to the village, My mom just left. That was in 1982.
So mom took you to the village and left you there. How
And
old were you at this
She
time?
left. I was around 2.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was barely 2.5 because I was born in September 1979. And this was 1982. So, but my siblings, at least for them, they could
A
understand
little
what
bit
was
older.
happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we left, when they left, she left us there. We never saw her again.
You never saw your mom.
Yes, she came back in 1993.
So how long? So when she came back,
it's-
how old were you at that time?
I was around 13.
Okay, so she left you at 2 years old and she came back when you're 13 years.
Yes.
Wow. And you never spoke all
We
this
never
time?
spoke. There
You
was-
didn't know where she was?
I knew she was working in town, in nearby town. Gilby, like how many kilometers away? Like 40 kilometers away. But we didn't know how to go there.
Ah.
She never came to see us.
Wow.
Okay, she went to town and started working as a barmaid. So I think the work was not even overwhelming, because for sure your kids, nothing can overwhelm you.
Come on,
Not-
exactly.
Yeah, so we stayed for about 11 years, 10 to 11 years without seeing her. I didn't know who my dad is. I didn't know who my mom was. So, and you see, my grandmother was mentally retarded. So you can imagine the life, from OCPD to down there. And our
A
house
grandma
is
who has special needs.
Yes.
Who has special mental
Yeah,
illness.
mental illness. So you can imagine there was no one to take us to school. There was no one to take care of us, even to buy us clothes. It was a tough life.
That was tough.
Yes.
That was tough.
So what happened, because my dad used to come, he used to be known in the village. He used to help people.
Your
And
dad
now,
used to help people.
He used to help people.
So he's helping people, but not his children.
No, before then.
Oh,
they
before then.
separated with
Okay,
my mom.
cool.
Yeah. So you can imagine people were laughing at us. And some of the women, they really took advantage of us. We became like village slaves.
Laughing stock.
Actually, we were slaves, because we were the one who were going to fetch firewood and water for the
others.
villagers. Yeah, for the villagers. And also to take care of the small babies in the village, because their kids were going to school as we were just at home. And then my grandfather also, okay, he was not like taking advantage of us, but when he's busy, we were the one who were going to the field. So one day, as I was going to the field, I could see children with uniforms going to school. And I was like, now, when will my time come? Because no one has ever asked me if I want to go to school. No one has ever talked about it. But my bigger sisters, them, they were going to school. But for us, no one is there to take us. So I decided, let me follow them and see where they go to school. So I left the cows and the sheep in the field, and I followed the children, the pupils who were going to school. So when I found where the school is, I didn't go back to the field. So I stayed there up to around 3 p.m.
You entered the school as well?
Yeah, I entered the school. You know, it was not that serious.
Yes.
There were no books to buy, no pencils to buy. We were writing on the floor.
Ah, wow.
Yeah, we were writing on the floor. So your finger is your pen, and the floor is your book.
Wow.
And then if you want to erase, you use your hand or your leg to erase.
Oh, okay.
It was a tough
I hope it's
life.
not like that anymore.
No.
Seriously.
Not like that anymore. Not like
Okay.
that anymore.
Yeah.
So when I went back home, I found our cows and the cattle, they are back home without no one. So when my grandmother saw, she really gave me a beating. It wasn't easy. So, but my grandfather told her, please, if she want to go to school, then
Let her be.
Yeah, let her be.
Yes.
So the following day, I asked my sister, can we go to school? Now we have the permission. That's how we joined. That's how we joined class 1.
So you joined class 1 at the age of 13?
No. That was 1986.
Okay.
Yeah, that was around 1986, 1987. That's when I joined class 1. Those, I
Class
think here
1,
they call
yes.
it grade 1.
Yeah.
So I didn't go to nursery school, but I thank God, Lydia, I was very sharp.
Hey, sharp child.
I was so determined to learn.
Eh.
So, but we were to pay school fees. So the life was not easy. Most of the time we were chased to go and get money, but we didn't have anyone to ask for the money. So our job is to sneak and then come back to school.
Yes.
If not, we do the casual jobs, like going to dig in people's chambers, and then we get some little money, we come and pay, and then we have like 2 or 3 weeks, then
Yes.
we are chased again. So it's like we were on and off. When we reached to class 7, that's when my mom came home. That was in 1992. 1992, that's when she came home. And I was like, now, where were
you?
Where were you, Mom? You see, we have never experienced mother love. It was tough. People took advantage of us. We didn't experience love. We didn't know what love is.
Were you angry with her this time, or you were just?
I was at that time.
You were angry.
Yes, but not anymore.
Yeah, of course, not anymore. But at that time, you're like, where have you been?
Yeah, there's no attachment.
Yeah.
There's no, I don't know who she is. Because you can imagine a 2.5-year-old.
Yes.
You can't remember,
yes,
even if it is your parent, you can't remember her. So when she came, and she was selling bar. She was a barmaid in town. So when she came back home, she wanted to keep the standard, you know. And so she started selling changa. I don't know how to call it.
Changa,
the local brew.
Local brew, yeah.
Yeah, the local brew. So she started selling that, and then she was smoking. So I'm like,
she's smoking cigarette.
what kind of a woman
is this? So you're.
But I love you, Mom. In case you're watching this, now she's.
That was then. That was
said,
then.
Yeah,
that was then.
I thank God that she said. So it gave me a lot of stress. I became like depressed. Yeah. So I had to learn to before she started selling changa, she was going to other people's homes, because there were others who were selling the same in the village, and that used to give me a lot of, and it made me hate her. I was feeling like, why is she doing this?
Yeah, why is she doing this? Yeah.
So then the same year, by the end of that year, she gave birth to another child. I have a small brother. I was the last one, but now I have a small brother. And I love him so much.
Yeah. But at that time, you didn't understand.
That time I didn't understand.
Yeah.
Okay, I was not a church person, but at least I knew this is not the way she's supposed to behave. So, and then our teachers, then she started selling changa. So our teachers were coming to drink changa at home.
Oh.
That was so shameful. Oof. I didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
So I decided, now this is too much.
Yes.
Because when you go back to school, even the other pupils, and you know I was a prefect.
Yes.
I thank God every class, every teacher used to appoint me as a prefect, as a monitor.
Yeah.
So you see, as a leader, and then this is what is happening in your home. It wasn't easy for me. So I decided to run away from home.
Wow.
Although,
at what age now?
Now that I was 13.
Okay.
The same, all this was happening
within that year.
Yeah.
It's too much happening at the same time.
Yeah. So the reason why I ran away from home is that Mom one day she told us, "You're not going to school anymore."
Whoa.
Because the little money we are making, instead of paying the school fees, we are using it at home. And then these teachers are coming at home, and we are chased from school. So she told us, no, you can't do that. So you just drop, and that's all. And so I decided, no, me, I can't stay at home with this
life.
That was
this lady wasn't here. Now she's here. She's want to take control of everything.
So I decided, let me go and look for a job. But which job now for a 13-year-old?
And where are you going at this time? Or
to
you
a
don't
nearby.
care?
Now that was my first time to go to the town that my mom used to live.
Okay.
So I decided one day, I woke up very early in the morning. I walked to town. It's about 40 kilometers. I walked on foot to town.
Wow.
And when I got to town, I started talking to strangers. I asked them to give me a job.
Wow.
And I met, after asking for few people, then I met this lady. She was called Mama Tom. And she asked me, okay, I need a house girl, but do you know how to do the job? I told her, yes, I know. But of course I didn't know.
You didn't know, yeah.
Yeah, because the houses that we used to live, they were thatched house. And there are no cement, there are no stone houses around. So I didn't know. And then the toilet, we used to use the latrines, the outside ones. So I'm like, now how will I start? So when we got to her house, she told me, this is the kitchen, this is the toilet, this is, I'm seeing so many rooms. And then she flushed the toilet. I'm like, what has happened? Oh, I don't know what is happening.
I've never seen this.
I've never seen this. So, but after a few days, she realized that I don't know how to do the job.
Oh no, because you lied.
Yeah, and she wasn't patient with me. So she used to harass me a lot and even to beat me. Yeah, she started taking advantage, and she was paying me 200 bob.
What?
200 bob is like how much here?
That
is
10
1
p.
pound.
10. That's not even a pound.
It's 1 pound.
No, it's
one and a
not.
half, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's not.
I don't think it's 200 Kenya shillings.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
So that's what I was paid every month. And by the end of the month, my mom was there to take the money.
You're kidding me.
Yes.
She found out where you ran to.
Yes.
Oh, no
This
way.
Mama Tom went to see her because she wanted to be sure that I'm a good girl.
Yes.
So I told her where our home is, and she went there. She found my mom, and she told her, anytime you want to visit, you can come.
Yes.
So every end of the month, my mom was there because sometimes they don't have food. And remember, she has a small kid. And my sister also had given the same time. They gave birth at the same time.
That's tough life.
So I was the family, I was the provider. And this mama was really, really harassing me. I remember one time, there were a lot of cockroaches in the house because of the civil servants. Those days they used to have, I don't know what was happening. Even if your house is okay, they will come from the other houses. So this lady, she told me, you are the one, we are not going to buy the detergents. You are the one who is going to kill the cockroaches.
What?
So I used to take the slippers.
And beat them.
I beat them on the table, and then I flush them down. And I must leave them there so that when she wake up in the morning, she will find them where?
Oh, no way.
To know that I did the job. So every after 1 hour, I would wake up and beat the cockroaches. It wasn't easy, but I bless her. Wherever she is, I forgive her.
Wow.
So I went back home again because that life was tough.
Too much.
Was too much for me. I went back home, and the life also again at home was not good because remember my teachers are still coming there. My mom
and
is
let me just ask you this.
Yeah.
So when you ran out and you went to look for a job, what was your aim? What did you want to do with the money? Why did you run away? What did you want to do with this money? Actually, because remember, you're only 13, so what were you going to do with the money? I
wasn't even after the money. I wanted to leave
Just
the environment.
Get out of there.
Yeah.
Okay.
The environment was not good for me. I hated it.
Yeah.
So I ran away again. I had to run away because now life was even more tougher because there is no 200 that they used to come for. So I have to go instead of... for us to eat, we have to go again to do the casual jobs in people's houses. So I went back to town again because that is the only town I know.
Wow. And
now I met this lady. She was so good. May the Lord bless her.
Amen.
When I told her about what happened, she asked me about if I ever worked in another place. And she told me, I explained what happened and everything, and she told me I'll give you a job, but don't worry, I'll show you how to do the job.
Oh, bless her.
She was so good.
Bless her.
Took care of me as her own, and I thank God because she made me realize that surely there is God.
Yes.
And actually, I started
there are
going
good people
to church.
out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
After 1 year, she went to, they got a green card or something. I think they came to to land here.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
So you had to go back to the
So I had
same.
to go back again to the same environment that was so sickening. I went home, but this time at least I'm better off because
Yes. And you're a little bit older now as well.
I'm older, I'm healthy,
Yeah.
and I have money
Yes.
because she was paying me 1,500
What, from 200 Kenya shillings.
from 200 Kenyan shillings. That is now like 10 pounds.
Bless her.
May
Bless
the
her.
Lord
Wherever
bless
she
her,
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the life was not easy again. As usual, I had to run away again.
Wow.
But this time I decided I'm not going to town. I'll go a bit further.
Yeah.
So there's a lady from our village. She used to work in Nairobi. She has relatives in Nairobi. So I told her, now Nairobi is the capital city of
Yes.
Kenya.
Yes.
So I told her, please connect me with your people so that I can work. I can go now far away from here. And actually my aim at that time, I decided now, because this housework is not working. If I get a husband, I'll get married. And remember, I was still very young. That was in 1995.
Because you're thinking that's a better solution is to get a husband.
Yeah, to get a husband.
Yeah.
That was 1995. So I was around 15 and a half. So we came to Nairobi. We went to Nairobi. But now to get a job was not easy. This lady, my second boss, was so good. She had really taken care of me. I was so beautiful, healthy. I was looking confident. And
You're
all
still
that.
beautiful, by the way.
Oh, really?
Just to throw that out there. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so no one was willing to give me a job because they were so insecure. They were like, no, if we give you a job. That time I was weighing 84 kgs. You can imagine. Right now, I think I'm 50 something.
Wow.
So they were like, no.
Who are these people? Who are
the ladies? The ones that we were seeking jobs.
Oh, so the women didn't want to employ you?
They didn't want to employ me.
Why?
They were insecure. They were saying, no, you are going to take my husband.
You're kidding me.
Yes, that's
Oh
what
my God, women, are you for real? Nobody can take away your husband. Your husband denies you and go to another woman. Nobody can take away your husband and nobody can take away your wife. No one can take away somebody. People are not properties to be taken away.
That's true.
So they didn't want to employ you because
they didn't want to employ
Oh,
me.
no way.
Yeah, so, but initially I got a job at a place called Nairobi West. That lady was so good.
Yes.
I remember her. I remember all their names. She was called Mama Caro.
Hi, Mama Caro, God bless you.
My second boss was Mama Koi. Now this is Mama Caro. Mama Caro was so good.
And the one from hell? The first one?
Mama Tom.
Mama Tom. I'll never start my child Tom. I don't want that.
So, Mama Caro was good, but the husband was another one. No, and I came to understand why why women were insecure. Some men are not good. Lydia, some men are so unfaithful. So this guy, I'm there working, but he was planning on how he can have me.
But let me just take you back. You're saying that now you understand why some women were insecure.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're beautiful or you're not beautiful, you're fat, you're thin, you're skinny, you're a useless, good-for-nothing man who wants to cheat on his wife, or who wants to mistreat, or who wants to rape a house girl, or he will do it regardless.
Very true.
So women should understand this. Some women should understand this, that it doesn't matter how this person looks like.
Yes.
If you have a useless, good-for-nothing a man for a husband, he will do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Those are even no husbands, they're demons. I always call them little demons walking around. Shh. All right, go on, sorry.
Yes, so what happened in that house again? I worked there for around 2 months. And then this guy, one day, they had 3 kids. So one day, this guy decided, and they were all going to school. So during the day, I'm left alone in the house. So one day, this guy decided he's not going with them. He was left behind.
The husband?
Yeah. And so he told me, at around 10 a.m., that's when I saw him coming from bedroom. I didn't know he's still around because they were doing everything in their bedroom and then they leave. So I'm like, okay. And I was not scared because I didn't know.
You didn't have
Yeah.
that mentality that this is
Yeah.
oh Lord.
So he told me, take this money, go buy me some soap. And then when you come, put it in the bathroom. So that's what I did. I picked the money from the table. Actually, he didn't even give me by hand. He put it on the table. Take that money. It's like he's like, take that money and go.
It's like he's not bothered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I rushed to the shop. I bought the soap and I came back as he told me. I took the soap to the bathroom, only to find him naked, without a single piece of cloth. In the bathroom, yes, like that, just like that.
How old are you now?
Right now I'm 42.
No, at that time. How old are you at that time
I'm
now?
around 15.
Jesus.
I'm around 15 and a half.
Oh my God.
So I'm like,
And how old are his children, girls?
they were young. They were in primary school. I think the last born was in class 2.
Okay. Oh,
The first born was in class 7.
that's a molest. That's
Yeah. So I'm like, what? I screamed. I actually dropped the soap. I screamed and ran away. Now I'm like, now where do I go?
where do you go from here? And
There's
you can't
no
even tell the
phone.
wife.
There's no phone that you can call the wife mommy or you tell her, this is what has happened.
What?
So I rushed to a nearby, there's a small center around there.
Mm-hmm.
And I went and stayed there until evening. And I don't know what to do. Remember, the way I came to Nairobi, I was told that I have cousins, but I don't know where they live. So there was a bridge, a bypass.
Yeah.
That's where I slept at night.
Whoa.
I left my few clothes in that house because I didn't have anything else but from clothes.
So you didn't even have time to grab them and run away?
No. Yani, I was like, I don't know what to do. So I just screamed and ran away. And you can't go back there because what are you going to explain?
You can't go back
It
because
was early in the morning, so
you'll even have cooked a lot of lies.
Imagine.
Yeah.
So I slept there under the bridge, and the following day in the morning, as usual, I started asking strangers if they can give me a job. And I met this lady. She was a school cleaner. There was a school nearby. She was a school cleaner. So, and I asked her, I remember her name, she was called Wambui. I was asking ladies, not men. So I asked her, can I get a job? Do you have a job? Give me a job. She told me, and what are you doing here? Very early in the morning. It was very early, around 6 a.m. in the morning. I told her now what happened. She felt for me. She told me, my house is not far from here. Let me take you there. Because I was shivering.
Yes.
Because of the cold. So she took me to her house. She gave me breakfast and she left. She told me, there's a lady in our school, there's a teacher who wants a house girl. I'll come for you at around 10 during the short break. So that's what she did. She left me, she gave me clothes to change, to at least warm myself. And then she came for me at around 10. So when I went to school, I didn't have anything, so I just left. So I met this lady again. She's called Wambui. And this time I was asking God, please give me a single mother.
Now you don't want anybody?
No, I don't want anything, yeah. So she took me to Wambui. Wambui was a very nice lady. She told me, now I'm not going back to class in the afternoon. Wait for me until lunchtime and then we go home. That's what we did. We went home. She had one child. May the Lord bless her. May her soul rest in peace because she passed on.
The Wambui lady?
Yeah, but after. After. So we started living with Wambui, and she told me, you know what, Jane? This is not your portion. You don't look like a house girl. That's what she told me. And let me tell you, Lydia, there are good people out there.
Of course.
And I want to tell even those ladies who have house girls in their homes, please respect them. They are human beings. Yes.
They treat them, they
and you
beat
can
them
treat
up.
an angel. Wambui told me, and I thank God for this, for this opportunity. She told me, one day you'll speak
Wow.
you will tell God thank you because of meeting me. And that's what happened.
Amen.
That was the last house I worked as a house girl. She paid for she told me, you can do something. Even if you're not educated, you can do something. So she paid for a dressmaking course.
Oh, wow.
She paid for me, not cutting from my salary.
Yes.
She paid for me. And then, so I used to drop the kid in school, and then I go for the few hours. So that's how I started life.
Wow.
I went to a place called Industrial. Industrial is where it was a mass production company where you make clothes of the same type. So she got me a job there, and she rented me a house.
Wow.
A very small Kamabati house.
Wow.
But I thank God, at a place called Runga Runga.
Wow.
She nurtured me. The first month she did a very nice shopping for me. She used to come and visit together with his brother. She was like a sister to me.
Wow.
And during the time I stayed in her house, I managed to build my mom a water tank.
Wow.
That is there up to date. So I always see the money that I got from Wamboi's house.
Wow.
May the Lord bless.
It's still there.
May the Lord bless her soul, wherever she is.
Amen.
Yes. So that's how I started life. Now I started knowing a lot of people. Life changed. And then after a few years, I left that job. And now I started working as a salesperson in a nearby company called Nice and Lovely. It was just near to our company. So I want to promote myself. I want to upgrade myself.
Yes.
I don't know how, but
I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do it. I bought an envelope, an A4 size. Okay, I always put specs. I started putting specs. So I was like, people think that if you wear specs, you're very, very, very learned.
Yes. You're very smart.
So when I got to that company, they asked me, what kind of a job do you want? I told them, any job that you have. So they had, they told me, we have, can you work as a merchandiser? I told them, yes. I don't even know what merchandising means. So that's how I started.
Yes.
Started selling. They deal with cosmetic products. So I started, that time the company was very new. So they didn't care about your background, your education background or anything. So that's how I joined the company. I moved from the slum now. And by the time, let me take you back a little bit. During that time, I got a baby. Before I joined that company, I got a baby. Yeah.
Okay.
Now my son, who is 23 years old. So we shifted from that place. We went to Rungai. We stayed there for a short time, and then we went to Kahawa West.
So when you moved, did you move with was it your husband, your?
No, I wasn't married. I just got a baby.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got a baby. So this time I'm a single young lady because I was barely 20. I was 19 years by then.
Wow.
Yeah. So I moved to a place called Rungai. Then after 1 year, that was 2000, I moved to Kahawa West. This is where now I met this guy.
Who is this guy?
My former husband.
Okay,
my
your ex.
My
Okay.
ex-husband.
Before you get to your ex, I just want to talk to women out there who have house girls. You know what I always tell my children? I say that if you treat somebody bad, tomorrow, and this is to you women who are mistreating house girls, because you don't know what will happen to you tomorrow. You might die tomorrow and leave a child and leave your children very young. Your husband is gone or you're gone and you've left your children very young and they start struggling. They don't know what to do. They end up just like Jane ended up and start being house girls to other people who will treat them the same way you used to treat your house girl.
Yes.
Okay? This life is not promised. Tomorrow is not promised for anybody. But tomorrow will happen. But it's not promised. So when you're mistreating these girls, right? Remember that you have children as well, even if you don't have children. And let me tell you one scenario. Imagine you've treated this house girl like this, and then one day, now the house girl ameomoka. Kuomoka is Swahili is hard, English is hard. He came with sheep.
You get rich.
You get rich.
You get blessed.
You get blessed. Amen. That's the word. So one day this maid gets blessed and she has her own company, or even she's the manager somewhere, she's working it, and then your child is looking for a job. Your child goes to that company. The only hope, the last hope, your child kakatamak. You don't even know what to do.
Yes.
Because when you're mistreating somebody's child, your blessings are being taken away from you. And your blessings are being given to that person that you're mistreating. Not even to your children who are innocent. So you're spoiling your children's future. You're spoiling your own generation by you being mean and you being a horrible person that God didn't even create you to be. You just chose to be horrible. So your child is going to look for a job, and the only person who will give a job to your child is this person.
True.
And the person is sitting in a sofa chair going round like this, and then the person turns round and it's your child. Hey, my friend, utalia gizani. So before you start mistreating other people's children, think. Now continue. So you meet this guy.
That's very true, Lydia. Because now you see, I can mention the ladies who were so good to me, and I can never forget Mama Tom.
Exactly.
I can never.
Because she was so mean to you.
Very mean. So
Mama Tom, shame on you.
So that's when I met. I gave my life to Christ, and immediately after that, I got this passion. I started feeling like God is calling me to do something. And remember, I'm still very new in salvation. I joined Deliverance Church in Kahawa West. That's where I gave my life to Christ. And then I started preaching in the community to the children. So of course, I started with the small kids. I started mentoring them, especially the girls. I had that passion. You know, what I went through, I wanted to help any other child not to go through the same. So I used to mentor them, and then you see, I'm very young, I have a child, so I wanted to mentor them. That's how I started preaching. Then I went to Kibera. You see, this zeal without knowledge. I had a lot of zeal without knowledge. So I started calling myself pastor. And I thank God today I am. Now I know, now I'm sure about that.
That's called self-proclaimed
and
pastor.
I went and I opened a church in Kibera.
Wow.
Yeah.
Without being ordained or anything.
Nothing. Actually,
But God ordained you.
But God ordained
you don't need man to ordain
Yes,
you.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
The thing was so strong in me. So I started preaching, helping people in Kibera. If I see a child who has no clothes, or I come to your house, I ask you if you have the same age of the boy that is suffering or a girl who is suffering, and then I help, because I didn't have liquid cash. I was only trying to raise maybe clothes and food, just that. So I started at a church that was doing, okay, I can see it was doing so well. In a very small house, 10 by 10. That was my church. Glory to Jesus.
Amen. Amen.
Because it gave me a confidence of what I am today. So, 2022, I mean at 2022, 203, around 202, 203, that's when I came to know this guy. He was married. They had not stayed for long, but the lady was sickly and she died. So as youths in this church, remember I'm preaching there, but I'm still a member on this other end. So when I heard that the lady died, we decided to go as youths. I was still calling myself a youth, even though I had a child, I was still very young.
You are still a youth, it doesn't matter, yeah.
So as we went to comfort this man, that's when I got to know him deeper. I knew he looked charming, I mean, a good person, who is very happy. He was very happy and accommodative. So, and then he asked all of us, what do you do, what do you do, what do you do? And I told him about the ministry I'm doing in Kibera. And there was a boy called Sammy I used to take care of, but I didn't have a place to take him. I couldn't accommodate him in my house. It was very small, and he had a condition. So I told him this boy, I wish only oh, how I wish I can get a place for him. And he told me, why not? We can go and see the boy. I heard that you are doing a good job within the community because I was raising kids and all that. And one day we planned, we went to Kibera. He used to work somewhere in Safari Park. And then that Monday he was off. He told me we can go on Monday. So on our way, you know, we are using the buses. We are here too. We shook up from this bus, we get to the other one. I think he was getting attached somehow. And me, I didn't know about, his feelings or anything. But after taking the boy, he told me, I want the boy to come and stay with me. That's how we connected. Not dating, no nothing. I remember I'm still immature spiritually. I don't have a real mentor, I can say, is a real mentor. Someone cover. Spiritual cover. Someone that can share and tell them what you're doing or what you're planning. And they tell you, no, don't go that direction.
Don't do that,
So me, I got trapped. And I can say Sammy, I think my love for Sammy is what made me marry this guy. Because I got in, I came with my children. Sammy and my son. I got married and then I told him, no, this one we are doing is not good. Let's go and talk to the pastor. So when we went there, pastor was like, no, you can never be accommodated in this church again.
You?
Yeah, you know.
Why?
You know, now him, because me already had a church. But you see, those days, church discipline, you are to be chased away completely.
Why? Because of
you
what?
have sinned.
Oh, so because you
got
lived
married,
with him.
yes.
Oh, Lord Almighty.
Yeah.
How did you sin? You got married, no?
Yeah, I got married.
So how did you sin?
We didn't have a wedding.
Oh, so how did you get married then?
A white collar wedding. No, I just moved in.
Oh, that's not marriage. Moving in is not marriage.
That is...
that's come and stay.
To church is come and stay. And actually it's not.
But that's not marriage.
That's
come
not
and
marriage.
stay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So the pastor told us, now you have sinned and you have to go. So we didn't have a choice.
Wow.
And I went back to my ministry. He was not going to church. We stayed like that. But 1 week, was it 1 or 2 weeks after I got married, his own brother, told him, you cannot give birth, because remember the first wife died. And they didn't have a child. I heard they had a child, but the child died. I don't know. But now I've come, and she came in with a child. Now I've come. Now he has married again with a woman with 2 children. Now the brother told him, you can't give birth. Women will always take advantage of you. And he was annoyed. Let me tell you, he beat him.
Who beat him?
My late beat his brother.
Your ex?
Your
late ex?
My late ex.
Yes, beat his brother?
Yes.
In front of you?
In front of me.
Just because of
actually,
that?
I thought he's dead.
Just because he said that you cannot have...
Yeah, because he said that. Okay. And I asked I said to myself, what? I hope this guy will not do the same to me. Barely 1 month. I don't know what happened. And the guy did the same to me.
He hit you?
Yes.
Physical hits?
Physical.
Because what did you do? It doesn't matter what you did.
It
doesn't matter, but...
I think he asked me a question. And I think I didn't answer the way he wanted me to answer. And I was beaten.
Ay.
And then there's this boy, Sammy. Sammy he had a condition. He used to fall.
Yeah.
And he was not talking. So anytime he goes to the toilet, he used to mess around. And he was beaten. I was like, oh, what did I go
just
myself
2 months
into?
2 months.
Yes.
2 months into this relationship. He beat his brother in front of you. He beat you already. He's beating this little boy who has special needs.
Yes. And even my son.
Hi.
So I was like, now what have I gotten myself into? And I'm like, should I leave? No. I'm still very new. And again, a lot has gone around. the rumor of now people are hating us, even the children that I was taking care of within the community, they don't want to see, they are warned by their parents not to come near me anymore because I'm
Why?
a bad person.
Because you
I
moved
got
in with the
married,
man.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I couldn't leave, and that's when I told him now, because I've been preaching without papers, I don't know anything, I've realized I'm still immature spiritually, I need to go to school, to at least to a college school. Remember, I left in class 7, so I didn't proceed from there. But I thank God for the grace. I asked him for the permission, and he told me it's okay. It was a free, there were no school fees, but at least I needed someone to support me with food and everything. So he told me it's okay, and I decided I'm not going to leave this boy in this house. Sammy, I'll take him back to his people. There was a sister, he was an orphan.
Yeah.
The father died while I was still with the boy, so he became an orphan, but he had a sister.
Yeah.
And I knew where the sister is. So I took the boy back to the sister house. And then my son, I asked my sister if she can stay with my children, with my boy, for the time being, while I'm still in school. But I wanted also to pray, because I'm like, okay, I'm not supposed to divorce. I'm not supposed, okay, for me, I decided I'm married, and I didn't want to divorce. So, but I felt like this separation will change him. Let me tell you, women, there is no you can change a man. A bad person, it's only God who can change him. So I thought through my prayers and my commitment to God, this guy will change. So he refused. He told me, no, I married you. This is my son. Only to know. But this one I came to know the other day. When I left my son, this guy was sodomizing him.
What?
Yes. That was now in 2000 and...
How old was your son at this time?
He was 4 years, 4.5.
Jesus. So your son was 4.5.
4.5.
4.5.
Yes.
And your so-called husband
Yes.
was sleeping with him,
Yeah.
raping him.
Yeah, actually raping.
4.5.
4.5 years.
And okay, I'll just go back now. So as a mother, and I'm not blaming you or anything, I'm just asking this question. So for anybody else who is out there to look for signs or anything, you didn't see any sign? You didn't see your child's moods change? Nothing?
No, the mood changed. Okay, now I have left him for 3 months, because the term was taking like 3 months.
Hi! Wait, you left this boy for 3 months with this evil man, but you didn't know.
But I didn't know. I didn't know.
You didn't
he's an
know.
evil,
So
yeah.
it's not your fault.
Yeah. So when I came back, okay, of course I couldn't imagine that he can do that. For sure, you can't imagine. Okay, I blame myself, because I think I wasn't sensitive
No,
enough.
you can't blame yourself. You can't blame yourself. You did not know
Yeah.
that this guy can do this.
Yes.
He was your husband, so you didn't know. So
I
don't
didn't
blame
know.
yourself.
So, but the boy became so quiet. He withdrew. He became
Of course.
dull. So, and then he told me, as usual, I used to wash him. And he told me, Mom, you know what? Since you went to school, now I bathe myself. Look, I put water, and he goes to the bathroom, and then he comes out clean. And I'm like, who showed you how to bathe? He told me, Daddy showed me. I know how to take care of myself now. But now I didn't know it was a cover-up.
Of course.
No, he told him not to allow me to touch him anymore. And the boy was so scared of him. But I thought maybe before I went to school, there was a time he caned him. And so I was like, maybe it's because of that fight. That's why he's so much scared of him. So I was bringing him close, but I could tell that they are not close anymore. Then after 1 month, I left. I was to be in school for a whole year. But after 3 months, I used to break and come home. Then before I graduated, I was already pregnant with the second born. Now my daughter. So I graduated in December 2004, November, and then 2005 I gave birth to this girl, my daughter. Then during this time I was in school, he reconnected with his former, his ex-girlfriend, who used to live here in the UK. I don't know if she's still here.
Who, the ex?
The ex, yeah.
Used to live in the UK.
Yeah. But now they connected so much. So he was planning on how now he will leave us and come to UK and live with this lady. They tried to apply, and it couldn't work. So when I came back from school, the guy had really changed. He was totally a different person. As in now, the beatings were too much. He used to tell me so many very bad words just to put me down. Because he was telling me, you're not my type. You're not even educated. I don't know why I got into this. You know, my lady in the UK, she does this, she bought this. And actually she used to give him money, a lot of money. I don't know what she was doing here in UK, but she used to have money. And he was telling me, you know, for one, you are a kid to me. Because our age difference was 16 years old. So he was telling me, you are very...
So wait, when you met this guy, there was a 16 years gap.
Yes.
So you were 20 at that time?
Yes, yes.
And he was what? 30 something?
30 something.
Whew. My stomach is twisting right now.
Actually, he was around 40 because now...
What?
Yeah. So the age gap was too huge, but we didn't... Okay.
You didn't look...
Let me tell you, young girls should have a mentor. Yeah, even if it is your mother, be open to her. But you see, like me, I didn't have even...
But you can only be open to your mom if your mom is also open to you.
Yes.
Because if I have a mom, like at that particular time, right now mom has changed and everything, and we thank God for Christianity. But at that time, if I had a mom like that, there's no way I can approach you and talk to you.
Actually, we had no relationship at all.
Yeah, so as
Whereby
we talk to young
her.
girls to have mentors, we also need to talk to moms
Yes.
to be close to their
To be
girls.
close to their girls, yes.
Not just girls, but children in general,
children,
even boys.
Yeah, from the young age.
Yeah, oh God.
So, so this lady, she did a lot. She even bought a car for my husband, and that made him to be so proud. Yeah, he used to tell me, what can you do for me? There's nothing you can do for me. You see what so-and-so is doing? You see, she bought me this, she bought me that, watch, underwears, everything.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess she loved her so much. I don't know.
And
So-
all this is happening, you're still there?
Yeah, I'm still there. Actually, she used to call me. The lady used to call me. And she used to tell me, we did a blood covenant. And we decided that he will never get married. Where did you come from?
The girl will tell you that?
Yeah. And actually she was older than him. She was older by close to 10 years.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
So so that's what happened. I gave birth to my daughter with a lot of stress because now he's beating me like every day for no reason. Sometimes I could.
There is no reason though.
Yeah,
There's no
there's no
reason
reason.
to beat you. He
Yeah.
shouldn't hit you at all.
Yeah, he could start like, what are you doing in my life? What? And then I start shivering, and he's like, now you see you can't talk. You see what? And then he started the beatings. It was too much. It was too much. And I have a small baby. I'm breastfeeding because I gave birth in January 14th. That was in 2005. I'm right from Bible school, so I still want to have a church. So I opened a church during that time. My daughter was around 5 months when I started now another church in Kahawa West. Then my son is here. I can see he's so withdrawn. And I don't know what is happening. I'm trying to bring my children closer because I was ready for marriage. God is my witness. So whatever he was doing to me, I was not sharing with anyone. I was like...
The shame.
The shame. I'm a pastor. Now I'm ordained.
Wow.
I'm a mother. I encourage people. I have children that I'm taking care of because when I came back from school, I started again raising other set of children, those who are needy. So this lady, when he realized that there's nowhere they are going and she can't come back to Kenya, you know what happens if you don't have papers, you can't come to Kenya.
Yeah, of course.
And now they have tried to bring him here and it's not working, so she decided it's a quit. So that's how he left my husband. And I can say it is God, because though he didn't change, he was still bitter, frustrated. I think he was also sick mentally. Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I don't know. I kind of, sometimes I always say that I want to be a devil's advocate. I hate that word, but you know, sometimes you have to use it. Because you said the lady in the UK, they now separated because he couldn't come, she couldn't come, all that.
Yeah.
And she now left your husband. She did not leave your husband. It's your husband who has the interest to look after you, not the lady.
Yeah.
Understand? So she didn't leave your husband. It's the relationship that ended. But I don't think the way you're saying, me just thinking that, oh, it was God. Because this man was an evil person.
Yeah,
so whether the man was with the woman or not with the woman, it didn't really make a difference, did it?
Yeah, sure, true, very true.
That's just how I'm looking at this.
Yeah, true. But at least now the intimidation from the lady, because she used to intimidate me so much. She used to call me names. She tried all means, by all means.
So why are you picking her phone? Why are you picking? If she calls you, block her, delete her.
And actually, he's the one who gave out my number. So it's like he was enjoying it. Let me say, I went through a lot of humiliation, and I thank God for the word. I think that time I was confused. I thought that is the way of marriage. I've never been in a family setup.
And you were young.
And I was young. So I thought, okay, maybe this is what other women go through. And then I'm this person who is somehow reserved when it comes to my, to some details about my life. So I was like, if I say, maybe they are also going through the same. And then I was masking a lot. I wanted to look like
perfect family.
That perfect family, yes. So when now my daughter, by the time she was 2006, she was around 1 year, barely 1 year. I remember one time, a friend, one of his friends died. And because they were very, okay, he was like a spiritual mentor. Before then, not, I didn't even know him. So when he died, and we were in the front line for burial arrangements and all that. So we used to go for maombolezi at night. And one night, as we were coming from that place, the car broke down. That time we still had the car. They were still talking with the lady. The car broke down, and in Eastland, you know Eastland, and the way that place is so, it's not secure.
Yeah.
So he told me, it was around 2 a.m. in the morning. He told me, now, you know, we are not going home. We'll stay here until morning so that we can get a mechanic who will fix our car. And I told him, you know, this place is not safe. And our lives are more precious. That's the word I used. And he said I abused him. I told him our lives are more precious than this vehicle. And then I had a small child. I need to go home. Maybe she's crying or something. And he refused. We go with the child. He said, because we are going to stay at the open outside, we can leave the child with the house girl at night. And I thought that we are going back home early. So when I said that, he knew now. And we were with a friend, one of his friends. And the friend said, by the way, it's true. You should not risk your lives because of this car. What is this? This is Mabati. So he said, okay, you have supported her. Yeah. So when we got home, okay, he agreed. We dragged the car to a nearby petrol station, and then we left. We took a cab to home. So we dropped the friend because he was to alight before us, and then we went home. But I could tell he's not talking. He's just quiet.
He's upset.
I knew today is that day. Today I must be beaten. So that's what he did. When we got home, I realized now this guy, I'm not going to the sitting room. I'm now scared. I went into the kitchen direct. So under him, he went to the sitting room. He picked the remote and he threw the remote to me. He wanted to hit me with that remote. But it hit the wall. So I was like, now what do I do? If I start going back to open the door, I'll pass, he will hit me. But instead he came to the kitchen. That's when he held my head. He slammed my head against the wall. I didn't even feel the pain. And I just got blackout. I fell down. I started bleeding, was bleeding. And then I have 3 other boys that I was taking. I had taken 3 boys. There were 3 boys in my house. The less fortunate kids, as usual, as I used to do. And now my son and my daughter. My daughter was very young. She was 11 months old by then. And then my son was around 5 years. Because he was in pre-unit. So I'm there bleeding, and he's still hitting me on the floor. Yes. So these boys, because they were big. One of them was in Form 1, the other one was in Class 6, the other one was in Class 4. So they were big. They came and told him, Daddy, please don't beat him again. And he was like, I always tell you, this woman is a devil. You don't know how bad this woman is. She's bad. That's why I beat her. So, and I'm there. Okay, don't hear what he's saying. The boys were telling me later. Then they pulled me. They pulled me by force. The bathroom was just there, and they put me in the bathroom. But I'm still bleeding. Now my son is watching. My son is standing there, watching Mommy. He thought I'm dead. So they pulled me. They put me in the bathroom, and then he calmed down. He left. He told them, go to sleep. But my son was left there, waiting to see who will remove
Mom's dead body from the bathroom. After around 30 minutes, I gained my conscience. And I woke up. I opened the door. To open the door, I found my son standing there, crying. He thought Mommy is dead. And I picked him, I hugged him. I told him, son, Mom is still alive. But that made me think deeper. I was like, one day, and he used to tell me, one day I will kill you. One day I will kill you. I don't know why. I don't know if I was blinded or what. So I went to the bed. I put the boy in the bed, and then I went to my bedroom. He's there now, sleeping. It's like nothing happened. My daughter, I picked my daughter. I changed her diapers and all that, and then I didn't sleep. I was like, now what will happen? What if I die? Where will my kids go? Whom do I share with? Whom do I tell what I'm going through? So that's where, and then that was for that day. Yeah, for that day. Then he didn't stop the beatings. After 3 months, that's when I started this condition that has brought me here in UK. Yes, because you've come here for an operation.
Yes. I started twitching from my eyelid down here. But I didn't know that day something happened in my head. The blood vessel moved because I suffered head trauma. And I got a compression. The vessel moved and pressed one of the nerves. So I started twitching, headaches and all that. Then after a few months again it progressed to my cheek, my left cheek. Then it went to my neck. And I'm like, what is happening? And my mouth is going like this.
Mm.
So I went to the hospital, and the doctor told me, you have so much stress. This happens when people are under pressure, under stress. So I told him, what do I do now? He told me, you can chew chewing gums.
Ah.
That's what he told me. Then I decided, let me go to another hospital. Then they told me I have Bell's palsy. And I believed. I thought, those days we didn't have phones that you can Google. If you're told it is this sickness, you agree.
just agree.
I thank God for Google. It helps us a lot. So they started then using tactic shocks. Tactic shocks whereby they put something here, and they put in the electricity, and then it burns. It pulls the nerves. It's like they're trying to waken the nerves. Little did I know that they were worsening it. They were worsening the condition. After a few years, no, that was in around 2010 there. That's when I was going for, they were telling me it's Bell's palsy and all that. Then we relocated to another place called Nyeri. As much as I am not that well learned, God has given me a lot of wisdom. And I had this passion, because of what I went through in my childhood. I had a passion to educate children. So I opened a school. I opened a school in Kahawa West during this around 2010, 2011. And then we found another school in Nyeri. So we sold out this one, and we went to Nyeri. That's when we started another school there. Then I went to another hospital and started doing the burning. Literally, all this time I'm still worsening the condition. And then he was sick. That year 2006, I think God was not happy with him. I'm not saying that because even good people,
everybody can get sick.
Anyone
can get sick.
But that the same year, 2006, he was diagnosed with diabetes. He started growing small. He was a very huge guy, but he started shrinking. Something was happening. He's not okay. For those people who knew him, when they meet, they're like, what is happening? Are you sick and all that? But he's not paining anywhere. The body was just shh. So we realized, by the end of that year, we realized he was also diabetic. So when we went to Nyeri, in 2010, this condition, because he was not on medication, he refused. He was on denial. He refused to take medication for diabetes. And he was not disciplined enough because there's a diet that is supposed to stick on. So I think the condition worsened some of his important organs. And in 2013, he was again diagnosed with prostate cancer.
Hi.
Yeah. Because in 2010, he started going down, down, and he was not active as a man, So I think because of that, that's when he got this, what do you call it, diabetes, I mean prostate cancer. That's when he started becoming more furious.
So that's when the beating started getting worse.
Now I was like, because now he's sick, he can't
beat you.
He can't beat me. But now he became even more possessive, more insecure, more furious.
And all this time, you stayed?
I've never left.
You never left. So the only time you left is when he died?
Is when he died.
So would you say he's still your husband because you never divorced?
No, he's not.
So he's your ex?
Because even the Bible says, only death and what?
Yeah, you like till death do us part.
Do us part, so we are not together.
So you're not together.
Yeah.
So when you now found out that this man was, when did your son now tell you that he was actually raping him?
Now, when we moved to Nyeri, in 2000, when my girl now started to realize herself, you see, when the girl now knows, this is mommy, this is daddy, this is what, this guy also started messing up with the girl.
So wait, so he's doing the boy, he's doing the girl, and you don't know?
He stopped the boy.
He stopped the boy,
yeah,
now he went to his
came
own
back,
child.
When I came back from Bible school, now he stopped it. He stopped it
Ah,
completely.
yes.
So, but with the girl, he was using fingers and the tongue.
How old was this girl at that time?
When she was barely 2 years,
Oh,
that's when he started. And the reason why I'm saying she was barely 2 years is because one time I was going to, there's a lady who had died within our area. And normally within our area, when a person dies and he or she was not going to church, they used to call me to bury the person. So that time, I remember the girl was around 1 year, 8 months out there. And we used to go together so that when I'm preaching, he can hold the baby. Mm-hmm. So that day he told me, we are not going, it's too cold. It was around the month of April. It's normally cold in Kenya. So he told me, you can go because it's just here. It was just around, not far from home. He told me, instead of carrying the baby to the place, you just go and then you will find us here. And I didn't have a problem because I've never suspected him. But one thing, Lydia, one thing, and I want women to be sensitive about this, God speaks in various ways. I didn't realize that time, but now I can recall, I can connect the dots. I remember I used to dream, like almost every day, I used to dream him doing things to my children, especially my daughter.
So if you dreamt, but you totally ignored the dream? I
ignored the dream. I thought maybe I'm thinking, but I was so one time when during that day when we were going to bury this lady, I forgot my camera. I had a small camcorder, small cameras. And anytime I go to preach or do something, I used to carry that camera. I take photos just for, and sometimes I used to sell the photos and I get money. So that day I forgot the camera. I went back home and it was like 1 hour. I left home and then for 1 hour I went back home. Only to find him, he had already warmed water in a basin and he had removed my daughter all the clothes. Now she's on the bed and the guy is kneeling here. I got shocked. Okay, I didn't catch him in the act, but he was kneeling there and the water is here and I'm like, and my daughter is naked.
Aye.
And she's on the bed. Maybe when I was opening the door, maybe he was already in the act, using his tongue, because what was he doing, kneeling there? So I got shocked. I'm like, could it be his? Am I sure of what I'm saying? I asked him, what is happening? What are you doing? Why are you kneeling? He said, no, I just want to wash the baby. So you see,
on the bed.
So you see, I've removed her clothes. I want to wash her. Now the water is here with the basin. And I'm like, but I got so disturbed. Actually, that day I got so disturbed. And I went to his sister. After the burial, I went to his, I came back.
You still left your daughter there with him?
Yeah. I didn't know, I didn't want to go, okay, I didn't know that he was doing that. So I went, I buried the lady, I came, I picked my girl and I went to my sister-in-law. I explained to her what I saw. And I told her, me, if I'm not wrong, you see, you are saying it, but you're not sure because you didn't see it actually. You didn't see him doing that.
Yeah.
So I told her, me, I think Julius is doing something. And I asked her, she told me, if he's doing that, then that is very wrong. I will ask him. He called him and he told me, you must leave so that when he comes, we'll be able to talk. So I left. The guy came. The guy went to his sister. And when he was asked, he got so angry.
Let me ask you something. You and that your sister-in-law. Do you actually think that asking him, he will actually admit it? Were you people thinking that he would say, I do something like that? Why couldn't you just call the police? That is the time you could have just reported the issue to the police. How can somebody ask you liba and you say yes, ni liba? Seriously. That will never happen.
No, the problem was, okay, let me say, I think, I don't know.
Oh, this thing is making me angry. Angry.
I know. Because I was like, maybe he will explain what was happening. But the sister, it got even worse. Because I don't know what they say. I don't know how she explained it.
That's the sister.
I was beaten that day. I was beaten that day because he said, how can you accuse me? And he was so angry. Actually, he acted like, he even made me feel like, oh, maybe he didn't do it.
So when did you now realize that he did it actually?
Okay, yeah, that's where I'm coming now. So when he realized that I'm connecting the door, yeah, he started now telling my child. Now, after 3 years, he started telling the child, your mom is bad, that's why I beat her. He started now the routine, even now my son and the other kids, your mom is bad, your mom is bad. That's how it started. He started now separating me with the kids so that they don't tell me what is happening. So when we went to Nyeri and when we relocated now to Nyeri, now from Nairobi, that's when the girl, I think she realized this guy, I mean, daddy is not doing the right thing. I used to ask her, why? Because she was told not to, the dad must wash her. Now, that time, the girl now started now distancing myself from her, so I can't ask her anything. If I ask her anything, she can't tell me. My husband got very sick during that, now 2013, he was diagnosed again with cancer. Now he went down. Now that routine stopped. And now he went down. 2015, he got seriously sick. The business we were doing, it went down. 2016, I had to relocate to Nairobi, to bring him back to Nairobi so that he can be going to the hospital near Kenyatta.
So I just want to ask a question because of time now. So all these things are happening, but you're still caring for this idiot of a man.
Yes, I was caring.
And when did you, so when you're still caring for this human being, you found out already that he's doing this to your children, but you still cared for him?
No, I didn't know by that
so
time. That
you
time
knew after he passed on?
I knew actually last year.
Okay,
so my
so at
daughter,
that time he had passed on?
Yeah. So to cut the story short, my daughter they got into depression, both with my son. They got into depression, and 2016, the man died. He got seriously sick. One of the boys that I was taking care of died in March. The same month, our business went down in 2016, that very end of the year 2015. This one boy died in March. In the same March, I was arrested because when the business was going down, I had debts that I had not cleared. So one guy decided not to forgive me, and he took me to court, and I was put into jail. The boy died. That the time I'm in jail, and the boy had already was still in the mortuary. He hasn't been buried. Then when I came out, we buried the boy. Then my husband became even more sick. We were auctioned because of the business went down without our plan. So, and as you know, that such big businesses, they go down with a lot of debts. So everything we had was auctioned. We didn't have anywhere to go. I went home. They chased us away. The mother. We didn't have a place. Yeah, my in-laws.
So your in-laws didn't like you?
Yeah, they didn't like me. So when we got our house through Good Samaritan, They bought us some few items and we go back together. So I went to I went to pick him from his mom.
From his mom's house?
Yeah.
You brought him back to your house?
I brought him back to my house.
Okay.
But unfortunately, he died. After death, that's when I decided to go and reconcile with the family, because I didn't know why they hate me so much. I reconciled with them, we forgave each other, and now, that year he died, that's when my son sat for KCSE. And he got into depression, into drugs and all that. So this is how I came to know that this is what happened. Last year, my daughter started cutting herself with a razor.
Yes.
And I took her to a counselor. And when she went to the counselor, that's when she opened up. She said what happened. When I learned about that, I got into depression. When I was doing my first interview. As you can see, if you see that interview and this one, that one I look more depressed. Because that's when the time I realized, I noted what was up. I hated myself. I felt so bad. Then when I shared with my son, because my son was always asking, my son recovered from the drugs and he's okay. When I told him why the girl has been cutting herself, he screamed. He told me, I thought he was doing it because I'm not his child.
That's when he told you that he was doing this.
Yes, last year. I got depressed. We got depressed, and I thank God for the counselors. For the counselor, there's a lady called Mary. She helped us so much. That's how we recovered. Today, I can say, apart from now this condition, we are a happy family. God, and I have come to realize that, okay, we make mistakes.
Yes.
But it's always good to listen to your inner self. Because the Bible says in the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 1, verse 7, that God did not give us the spirit of fear,
but a spirit of love,
but the spirit of love,
mind,
the spirit of power, and of sound mind. Now I'm very, very focused. I now know who I am. I didn't know myself by that time. I now value myself so much. They called me names. They hated me. I even hated myself. And because of that, I neglected my children. I can't say that, because as a mother, I was supposed to have the instincts. Even though they were there, I didn't take caution. I didn't take...
But I know that because we just have like 3 minutes left. And that is why you're now here trying to, yes, that was done. But you know, we do make mistakes, but some mistakes are so costly. Some mistakes are life-changing. So we just have to make sure that even though we make mistakes, but the mistakes that are life-changing are very dangerous, because they can change your life forever. And I'm happy that even though all these things happened, you've now decided to come out and talk to other women who are in the same position as you. So I just want you to look at the camera and just talk to women or even men. We know also men go through domestic violence, but it's not as severe as women. So I just want you to look there and just talk to women who are in this position, the positions that you were in prior, and just talk to them.
Wow. Me, what I can say, I want to talk to married and those who are not married. I think the reason why I got into this is because I was a single mother. And as single mothers, you know, when you get someone who tells you that, especially someone who speaks of marriage, marrying you, you get into that trap. So I want to talk to ladies. Please take time to know your man. Don't just rush to get to any marriage, no matter how good it looks. Please take your time to know that man. Number 2, respect your instincts. Listen to your instincts, because women, we are told we have 6th sense. And that 6th one is very unique. If only I had listened to my instincts, maybe I couldn't have brought my children into all this. And also to myself. Like now, last year I was doing fundraising in all social medias, trying to raise money for this surgery. And I got this doctor from US who to get US visa became a challenge because the appointments were very far. I got one in 5th January, but it was cancelled. So during that time, I decided to do Botox injection. I've been using a lot of medication and they were not helping. So I was told I can to minimize the migraine and the twitching. I had to pay 130,000 to get an injection that is done from here, because this is where all the facial nerves starts. So this is all because of this one man. I'm walking from nation to nation. Like now I'm here. I didn't get my surgery. I have next week I'm traveling to India so that I can have my surgery there, because I don't want to do second Botox. I don't want to do another one because initially it will make my face paralyzed, the whole of this side. Now, the other thing I want to tell ladies is that listen to your children. Listen to them. Listen to them. I don't know what to do, but it's good to listen to your children. And if I was wise enough, let me tell you, you don't listen to them when they are grown-ups. Listen to them even when they are young. Listen to learn the language, even for that small child who cannot speak. Learn the language, because women and men, actually parents, we can save our children
from so much trauma.
From so much trauma. And then for single ladies, don't be ashamed to be called a single mother. It is not a curse. I used to fear that so much, but now I'm a proud single mother. And I thank God, because even though I've come to realize this when it's too late, but right now I thank God because my fellowship with my children is now intact. We are all healed. As you can see now, I'm okay. And the other thing I want to tell women is that for those who have good husbands, because they are there, their husbands who are good, please don't take advantage of that man. Respect him. Respect him. A man who has never raised his hand to beat you. A man who takes care of you and your children. A man who values you, because me, I have never been valued in my life. I don't know what love means. I don't know how to be called a wife, a good wife. Okay, as in someone who pampers you, not even with money, not even for anything, but with values. Someone who respects you. If you have such a person, please, and especially women in diaspora, we've had so many stories. You come from Africa, or maybe you are here, and things are now better on your side and your husband is not doing well. Please respect that man. When he had something, he took care of you. Now that he doesn't have, please take care of him. Yes, respect marriage. Single ladies, respect marriage. Don't hook up with a married man. It is sin. It will damage your life and the life of your children. Don't destroy someone's house. Don't destroy someone's house. Remain faithful, and God will bring the right person on your way. At the right time. At the right time.
Whew, thank you so much, Pastor Jane Jasmine. Thank you so much for actually coming to talk to other women and other even men out there. And I just want to say that it's never too late. I know you said yours is too late, but it's never too late, because now you've reconciled with your children. Everything is okay. And you're also helping other people out there. Guys, check for red flags. If you're in a domestic situation, check for red flags. Don't pick them up. Don't pick the red flags and say, oh, tomorrow is going to be better. I can change her. I can change him. You can never change anybody.
Yes.
People will change themselves. Don't expect any miracle from anybody. And with that, we say, let's continue with the campaign for stopping domestic violence. And I thank you so much for coming to watch our show today. Stand out, speak up. Until next week on Wednesday, again, we're here same time, 6:30 p.m. UK time, 9:30 p.m. Kenyan time. And like we always say, it can only be God. See ya.